Hey everyone, it's Steve from the garden. Well, today is Monday, August 21st, and here in the Chicago area we have a heat wave that's coming. So before it gets really hot, I'm going to go through and do some harvests so I don't have to do those harvests once the heat really kicks in. So first up will be the zucchini. So I have at least 2 zucchini here that are ready to go. So it's one on this plant, along with one on this one. You can see that this plant also has one growing, but I'm going to let this one get a little bit bigger, and I'll probably have to do that one tomorrow. Next up is to grab some more tomatoes. Now I did harvest a few yesterday when I was making some salsa, but I know I have a lot more I can go through and harvest on here. You know, I am now letting these plants kind of bush out a little bit. You know, we are getting not at the end of the season yet. It won't be long before the cool weather sets in and the tomatoes will be done. So by letting some of these grow out, I'll get a few extra tomatoes versus, you know, just trying to do the single stem. So I do have enough time in the season for some more tomatoes to get growing. Around September 1st, I'll top the plants, and then that way any tomatoes that are on there will have enough time to ripen before the season ends. So this is what I picked for today. Now I'll put these up in the freezer. What I do is I cut them in half, de-seed them, and then I freeze them. I do that until I have enough to make pasta sauce. Since some of these root pouches, they've finished off. This one still has a little bit of green on it. I'll let that one go. Like this one here in the center. This one, the vegetation's died back completely. The same goes for this one. This one, the vegetation is pretty much done. So let's go ahead and see what we got. So for harvesting these, I'm just going to use my 27-gallon tote to act as a container while I dump these out. That looks pretty good. Let's see what else we got. Just as a recap, I used 4 seed potatoes in each of these pouches, and each seed potato weighed between 1.5 ounces and 2.2 ounces. Now the variety here, this is Kennebec. So these make really nice brown potatoes, or you can make them into French fries or hash browns. Any of those purposes would be really good. They're really excellent for that. Of course, you can still boil them and make them into mashed potatoes or use them for baked potatoes too. It looks like that's it for that root pouch. I'll now just dump the soil back into the root pouch so it's ready for next year. With the first root pouch out of the way, we'll go ahead and do the second one. One thing I really like about having container growing for potatoes is it makes it very easy and quick to harvest them. Plus, like the root pouches, you know, any excess water just drains right out of them. I'm getting some nice ones out of this pouch. Oh, that one's rotten. You can see this part's okay, that part's no good. I don't really clean up these potatoes that much. You have to be careful when you first harvest them. You know, the skins are really thin. There's another worm. And it'd be easy to like rub the skin right off of them. And you don't want to get them wet if you're going to put them in storage. So while these will probably get used up fairly quickly, at the same time, I want that potential to store them for a little bit longer. And so therefore I'm not going to like wash them until I use them. So this is what we ended up with out of those 2 pouches. This second pouch probably has a little bit more than the first one, but both are pretty good. So the weight for the potatoes came out to 3 pounds 10 ounces on the first pouch and 4 pounds 9.7 ounces on the second pouch, for a combined total of 8 pounds 3 ounces. So not too bad for just 2 root pouches. Each root pouch started with somewhere between 6 ounces and 8 ounces of seed potato. So combined, the 2 pouches had somewhere between 12 ounces and 16 ounces, or 1 pound, of seed potatoes. And they produced 8 pounds of potatoes, so about 1 to 8 ratio on that. With this quick harvest done, I don't have to worry about too much in terms of the garden. Now, I do have, most of the garden is on an automatic water timer for the drip irrigation system. So they'll get water every day during this heat wave so that everything stays green and growing. The exception would be my containers, you know, the zucchini and my watermelons. Those I'll have to do some watering by hand just because they're not on the drip system yet. If you have any questions, go ahead and leave a comment down below and I'll do my best to answer them. And until next time, I hope you enjoyed, got something out of this, and we'll see you on the next one.